Okay, please ignore the dog barking in the background. Mine is probably gonna start too. I'll try to do this in another room next time. But I've got my projector, my tripod set up, so I'm gonna do it here. Okay, so it's Pie Day today. To celebrate Pie Day, we're gonna draw a pie. So I'm gonna do it real quick here. We're gonna draw a triangle. My triangle is gonna go like this. Okay, here we go. Now that doesn't look much like a pie, it just kind of looks like a triangle. So I'm gonna bring that down and bring that down because pie is never really straight. And there we've got a piece of pie. Now this piece of pie is going to have a crust on it. So I'm going to go here and give it a little bit of crust. So I think this is going to be blueberry pie. Now we need a little right here. We're going to need a crust on this area to come up. You know how the crust usually comes out of the pan? So we'll just kind of sketch it right here. It'll look better when we really get going. Okay. So I've got my crust. So I'm going to erase all the extra because we really don't need that. And it'll kind of confuse people. So here we go. So we've got crust. I'm going to bring this down so it makes sense. We've got a piece of pie and we've got crust. Now what goes on the piece of pie is a dollop of whipped cream or Cool Whip or whatever you like. I'm drawing right through that line and then I'm going to erase the line. And now I've got a little bit of a sense of 3D. You can tell that the Cool Whip or whatever you're using is sitting on top of that pie. Okay, good. So now we need to put the pie on a plate. So we're going to get a round plate. I'm going to do a little bit smaller. So here's a round plate going around the pie. Here we go. And to make it have a little bit more perspective, I'm going to draw it behind that Cool Whip. So it kind of looks like it goes off. There we go. Now we need a little more perspective, so I'm going to put it on a table. That gives us a little bit more to add color or design. Okay, here we go. Okay, now for this, I'm going to show you a trick. If you've got crayons and if you've got watercolors, you can do this. If you don't, that's okay. Just do what you have. Okay, so I'm going to draw a little circle here. I'm going to say we're doing blueberry pie. Oh, and I forgot to do my Sharpie. I'll go back and do that. Here we go. So when you use oil pastels, they've got a lot of wax and oil in them, so that the water and the watercolors will roll right off of them. It almost repels it, and it'll look very cool when we're all done. And kids love that. You can do like a secret message with a white crayon, and then they can't see it until they put watercolor on top, and then it pops out. I did that with a Harry Potter lesson once. Okay, so now I skipped a step and I'm going back and I'm fixing it. Here's my step I skipped. I'm using Sharpie. If you're going to use watercolors, make sure you use permanent marker to do this, because any other marker will bleed really bad. Here we go. I'm just going to kind of do that so you can kind of tell what it is. Okay, and this is my first video ever, so I'm a little nervous. So just bear with me. It's kind of got a little thing. And it doesn't need to be perfect. Here's our little dollop of whipped cream or Cool Whip or whatever we're using. I'm going to go a little close there. So there. Okay. And now I'm going to put it on the plate. None of it has to be perfect. Now if you've got an older child with you, when they're doing this, they can add shadow. They can say that the light, oops, I hope I didn't lose too much. The light is coming in from here. They can add shadow here and on the table. But I'm going to do this like we've got little ones, and they're not quite ready for that. Okay, so now I'm going to add the watercolors here. And I'm going to mix my watercolors over to the side. And here they are. Do you see how it doesn't really stick to it? It'll look really good once it dries. This is getting it in the middle. I kind of knocked it. Okay. Now the Cool Whip whip is going to stay white. And I'm going to take some brown and make our crust. Now when you use watercolors, if one watercolor touches another, it is going to pull that color. So if I were to touch the blue with this brown, it's going to pull it right into the blue and it'll make it look really muddy. So watercolor artists usually do one section here and then they'll do the next section that doesn't touch it. But I'm just going to kind of do all of it, and I'm going to kind of pull it down some because I did it a little bit too dark, but that's okay. I got a little bit on the white there. I'm just going to wipe it with my finger. You know, we all have a lot of toilet paper right now, so you could take a toilet paper and blot that. And I'll show you another trick we can do with that. If you have table salt with you, we can add a little texture to it. I'm almost scared to touch it right there. Yeah, it pulled it in. Okay, I'm just going to leave it alone. And I've got table salt, and it's got a little bit too much there, so I'm just going to touch it. Normally I'd use watercolor paper, and it has cotton built into it, and it absorbs better. But I figured people watching it probably wouldn't have watercolor paper, so I wanted to use copy paper. Now by sprinkling this salt on there, you're adding texture, and when it's all dry, you can just knock it off. You just brush it off, and it'll look really cool. There we go. Can you see how it's doing that? I'm going to look real quick. Yep. Okay. And I'm just going to tap this so you can kind of see what it looks like, how you can see the blue. And I'm just using a regular cloth, but you don't have to do that. Okay. Now, let's say we're going to do some texture. Sorry. I'm just going to do a plain color in the background. I don't know how much time I have before the dog starts barking, so I'm just going to try to do it as quick as I can. So here we go. Here's green. And I know this is probably not the neatest, but I'm just getting through it. You can spend much more time with your children. There you go. If you have older children, they can put a pattern on the tablecloth. If you have younger children, you can have them draw the pattern with crayons, and then it'll pop when you put the watercolor on. If you don't have watercolors, then you can use crayons for all of this. If you want to really make them take their time, you can use colored pencils because they're smaller, it takes longer, so it draws out the lesson. When we want to draw out lessons for kids that go too quick, we use smaller brushes. The smaller the brush, the longer it takes. Let me use another bright color up here. I'm probably just going to, let's see, I'll use something really bright. So I'm going to turn this around so I'm not leaning over it. I hope I put it in the right place here. Now when you get watercolors really, really thick, like I did here, they're almost like gouache. If that's the right way to say it, I don't know. Here we go. I'm just getting close to that plate. I'm not going to spend too much time. You would spend more time on this, but I just want you to get the idea of it. Here we go. Now, in a future lesson, we are going to make donuts. So what I would like for you to see, if you run by it, or you come across it at home, save maybe one newspaper, some masking tape, some aluminum foil, and Elmer's glue. And we're going to do paper mache. And I'll walk you through that. We will make the cutest donut you have ever seen. Here we go. Almost done. Yay. Here. Now, if you let this dry, you could come back and do the plate. But I'm not going to make you wait. I'm just going to do the plate with something else so that you don't have to wait. Here. I'm going to use this. Okay, here we go. And we're almost done with our pie on Pie Day. So in the future, the things I'd like for you to hold on to, because we're going to work with, are bottle caps, the roll inside of a toilet paper roll, that little cardboard thing, pens, paper, markers, crayons, Corks are good. Just all kinds of like little doodads. I like to go into the junk drawer and see what's in there and make things with it. Elmer's glue is good. If you go to the store and you get a chance to get Elmer's glue or glue all, any kind of like a white glue would be good. That comes in good for everything. Glue sticks are good. But don't put your health at risk. We can work with whatever you've got. Okay, I'm coming up to the very end here. Here we go. I hope you enjoyed watching this. This is a very simple activity, but it's fun. Older ones can add more details. Older ones can add shade. You can take it wherever you want to take it. Now, when your child is done with it, make sure you post it up and congratulate them and praise them for the work. And then each time they'll spend a little bit longer working on it and do a little bit more detail. I hope you've enjoyed making a blueberry pie with me today. I'll see you again later. Thanks. Bye-bye.